Plantago lanceolata. Nickname for this plant is dookie stick. This is part 1, and in part 2 I'll be sharing a mnemonic or memory technique to help you commit to memory the most distinguishing characteristics of this plant for identifying purposes. Be sure to watch all of part 1 so that part 2 is understandable. This is a weedy plant. The stems are very erect. They can grow up to 20 inches tall, including the flower spike there. There can be one or multiple stems, as you see. The stems grow from out of a dense rosette of leaves. The rosette, or a round cluster of leaves, form first, and then the stems grow, which are then topped with a capsule shape flower spike. The stems are silky. They are unbranching. Leafless. Quite wiry. Notice the dense rosette of leaves at the base. The flowers are very tiny. They're white, have 4 petals. These are what is called the stamen. Each stamen, and there are 4, is tipped off with an off-white anther. These anthers form somewhat of a halo around the flower spike. And as you can see here, the tiny white flowers beneath the anthers. The seed pods, which we will see a better picture of in a later slide, are capsule shaped, and they split cleanly here at the lower half of the capsule, and they can develop 1 to 2 seeds inside. These are the seeds here. We'll see a better picture of these in a later slide as well, and I'll give you more details about the identifying characteristics of these seeds here. The flowers are replaced by the seed, or the seed pods. There is a fibrous root. This, as you see, is a single plant with multiple stems in this case, but can feature or bear just one stem in some cases. The leaves are linear elliptical in shape. They are erect or spreading, and they bear 3 to 5 veins along the entire length of each leaf. They are either smooth around the edges, like in this case here, or slightly toothed around the edges. They are narrow, and the leaves are also quite long, up to 10 inches long and 1.5 inches across, or just up to 1 inch across. They are commonly about half that, commonly about 5 inches long and about 1/2 inch across. They are hairless. They can sometimes bear hairs along the central vein on the underside of each leaf. These flower spikes here are composed of the tiny flowers, or buds. They are described as being gray-green or greenish-gray. These flower spikes are 1/2 inch to up to 4 inches long and about 1/2 inch thick. This is a picture of the anthers at the tip of the filaments, which make up the stamen. These flower spikes turn brown from the bottom up. Another way of saying it is that they mature from the bottom up. The flowers are replaced by the seeds. And you can see the flowering here around the middle as the flowering ascends this flower spike. More of the, you can notice more of the green here, not so much of the gray. And it's the color of the sepals and the bracts which gives it that darker look. Notice the green part protruding. This flower is budding. Now the very dark gray-green part here, you'll notice, is the sepal, which is essentially the part that surrounds a typical flower, and there are 4 sepals. Again, the flower is maturing from the bottom up. This top portion, the flowers have not started protruding yet. Here they are, and they are eventually accompanied by the long stamen. Capsule shaped. During the budding phase, they have more of a distinct point or cone shape here at the top. As this flower spike matures, that point will become more rounded. Like this, essentially. This flower spike is finished with the flowering process. The top view. Now, this is a picture of 4 of the flower spikes going through the entire process. There are 4 stages. Here when it's budding, and the maturing from the bottom up until it's complete. Notice the cone shape here, and that cone shape is eventually more cylindrical as it matures. Now, the seeds are approximately 3 millimeters long. They're yellow brown to dark brown, and if you wet them, they will have a very slimy texture. There's a large indentation on one side, kind of reminds me, or would remind one of a black-eyed pea. It is also capsule shaped, as you see. This is an actual picture of one of the seed pods after it has split cleanly across the lower half of the seed pod. And in this case, it appears to have developed 2 seeds. Can be as little as 1, but up to 2. Now this is a picture of part of the rosette of leaves. The only leaves that appear on the plant, again, the stems are leafless. The flowers, as I said earlier, have 3 to 5 long, wiry veins inside. They're very tough. linear, elliptical in shape. They can be borne on very short leaf stems, or the leaf stems can be the same length as the leaf blade itself. Here are some examples of how the plant can be very strongly creased along the vein. You can notice a hard crease in this leaf here as an example. It won't happen in every case, but it's typical to see these leaves folding along the vein margin. Now, this picture shows you how you can determine, in the event that it's not, the stem is not present, and you only have the leaf or the leaves available, which are edible. You can know that you have this particular plant and other species of the Plantago family as well by slowly breaking the leaf stem. Afterwards, slowly pull the stem apart, and the veins which run through the leaf will remain intact through the stem, like splicing a wire. That is again how you can know you have the proper plant, or this feature is common in all Plantago or plantain plants, and there are none which have been found to be poisonous. This is a picture of some shoots. It's a good picture of the strong veins there. The edible parts of this plant are the seeds, which are quite laborious to collect, and the leaves. To learn how to prepare these parts, go to survivalplantsmemorycourse.com and click on the Plantago lanceolata link from the Index of Plants directory right there on the home page. And on the fact sheet of this plant, you will see a section called Methods of Preparation. You'll find it there. This has been part 1, and in part 2 I'll be sharing a mnemonic or memory technique to help you distinguish to help you remember how to distinguish this plant for identifying purposes. Thank you for watching.